Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time I'm going to go over to KNewz, and this is by the KNewz staff. It says, people pictured on Epstein's island identified. Um, it says, two women pictured with recent fire English ambassador to the U.S., Pete Mandelson, in newly released Jeffrey Epstein photographs include at least one taken on the pedo's private island have been identified by the late financier's longtime housekeeper, KNewz can reveal. Kathy Alexander, age 70, who worked for Epstein for nearly a decade, said she recognized herself in Maxwell in a photo taken during breakfast on Little St. James, one of the properties Epstein owns in the United States Virgin Islands, despite her face and Maxwell's both having been covered in the release image. The pic, believed to be from 2002, it says, shows Mandelson seated at the table with Alexander and Maxwell beside him. That's me, Alexander said. It looks like the photo was taken at breakfast. It looks very much like Maxwell sitting next to me. Of Mandelson, age 71, in his alleged stay on the Epstein Island, she remembered he stayed for nearly a week. We got very used to giving him meals. He was such a gentleman. He had a panic attack or a migraine. They went parasailing, and he probably didn't drink enough water. He had too much sun and not enough water. I gave him oxygen and fluids. And this is the photo, which I will post. And it goes on to say, Alexander, who lived on the island with her husband Miles, who was Epstein's manager, said women regularly visit to give massages, but she never saw them in distress. She believed the redacted figure next to her in the photo was Maxwell, age 63, who is currently serving 20 years in a prison sentence for trafficking. The photo appears as part of Epstein's 50th birthday book, a 238-page scrapbook compiled for him by Maxwell in 2003 that was recently released by the House Oversight Committee. Pages contain gushing greetings, personal photos, and handwritten messages from powerful friends, including Mandelson, who submitted a 10-page tribute in which he calls Epstein his best pal. In one entry, the former ambassador, who was then a member of Parliament, described Epstein as mysterious and an intelligent, sharp-written man who had parachuted into my life, he wrote. You would spend many hours just waiting for him to turn up, and often no sooner were you getting used to loving him around, you would suddenly be alone again. The letter ends, happy birthday, Jeffrey. We love you. They have another picture. It says the newly released photo shows Ambassador Pete Mandelson in a white robe with Jeffrey Epstein by House Oversight Committee. Okay? It says another image in the Epstein birthday book shows Mandelson in swimming shorts, gazing from the balcony or a balcony, while another depicts him in a fluffy white robe seated with Epstein. A note alongside it declares, "We love you." On another page, Mandelson wrote, "Whatever he's is in this world, he remains my best pal." The former ambassador's office previously said he regretted his connection to Epstein. Earlier this year, Mandelson told the Financial Times, "I regret ever meeting him or being introduced to him by his partner, Maxwell. I regret even more that the hurt he's caused to so many young women. I am not going into this. It's an FT obsession, and frankly, you can all F off, okay?" A court document filed in 2023 described Mandelson as having a particularly close relationship with Epstein, noting he had been invited to stay at Epstein's Manhattan home while the financier was in jail in 2008. Epstein referred to him in messages as Petey. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer fired Mandelson as the UK ambassador to the US in early September amidst fresh scrutiny over his relationship with Epstein. A Foreign Office statement said that the decision was made in light of additional information in emails written by Pete Mandelson that had surfaced. The email shows that the depth and extent of Pete Mandelson's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein is materially different from that known at the time of his appointment. The statement read, Starmer, had told members of parliament before the firing that he had confidence in Mandelson. And that is the end of the article right there. He definitely was booted from about there once they found that out. Like, they didn't waste no specific time. Like, once it was confirmed, I believe it was like a matter of hours and maybe a day, two at the most. He was gone. Like, they automatically was like, "Oh, nope, you know what? Not interested. We're gonna find somebody else. Your services will no longer be needed, and we're gonna move forward from this. And we wish you all the best. I guess. I'm just assuming, okay? But he definitely got booted from up out of there. I mean, as this continues to happen, they have named a couple of other people as well. I cannot remember off the top of my head, but if I find the article, I definitely will publish that one as well. Of course, they, continuously bring up Bill Clinton. They always continuously bring up the fact that, Democrats are just using this for a political stunt. However, there are more than just the Democrats that are invested into this, especially when you spent a good time of your campaigning to actually do right by the victims of this terrible, terrible, terrible situation for everyone, I'm sure, that was a victim. And, only to get elected and say, well, thanks for the ride along. I'm going to go, and run the country now. I mean, that's just my interpretation. Please take it with a grain of salt. But, yeah, uh, they're getting exposed, and I'm here for it. I've always said since day one, it doesn't matter who's on there. Um, these women that were girls definitely need justice, and that's the most important thing, um, you know, about that, and especially for Virginia Giuffre. She definitely deserves justice as well. I just recently watched the Australian 50 Minutes special. It's very interesting. If you're interested in knowing a little bit of backstory after, how she lived after the fact and, actually leaving the United States and living in Australia and the things that she experienced, I would definitely go and check that out. However, you know, they are fighting this tooth and nail. Senator Mike Johnson is not willing to swear in the new incumbent that would give the Democrats 214 seat. Um, another notch. But he said he's not doing that in the interest of the election actually being certified. So once it's certified, he definitely will, I'm assuming, swear her in. However, it is to be noted that it was another gentleman that was swore in. I believe he was a Republican, and he won a seat. And immediately when it was projected that he won, he was quickly sworn in. But hey, I guess it is what it is, right? Fighting tooth and nail for it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Drop down in the comment section. I would definitely love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share as well. I do appreciate you watching my videos as always, and that will never end. But I want you to always be good to yourself. And remember, free speech is not just for the privileged few. Free speech was created for everyone, regardless if you like it or not. Mr. Get off, I get off.